That's what, guys, I'm Joe, and this is how to install a frame-it-all composite fence. Okay, so this was an old wood fence, and we're actually here in Conway at the University of Central Arkansas, and they wanted something to be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and longer lasting than the wood. So they went with this. This is so it's a metal frame. This is aluminum. So it's got aluminum post and aluminum framework. And then this is a composite board. And then this is a horizontal orientation. And then also the other specification they wanted here, these boards can be done as a privacy where they all lock into each other and creates a privacy look. They wanted a little bit of space because of the air conditioning units behind here. So this particular system allows you to do spacers here between the boards on the post, and then gives you this kind of look here. So now, as far as design and planning, this is, starting with the post setting, this is very similar to like a vinyl post. We've talked about the differences, like where vinyl, you have to set the post at the beginning at the heights and the levels that you want, whereas like chain link or wood, you come back after setting and trim the tops. But here, it all starts with the correct height of the post, which then corresponds to where this bottom block goes. So we set everything in accordance with that, knowing that we wanted to keep this level of this block all in line for our finished product. And then it's got this channel here in the post. So then you start with this bottom rail. It sits on that foot or block on the bottom, and then everything works its way up from there. Now, if you had elevation changes, you could adjust where that bottom block is, but you want to plan all of that on the front end when you're setting the post so that everything goes smoothly when you're putting in the sections like we're doing here. We talked about the block, but we got our bottom rail in. So then from there, we start with our first rail, which there's a few of these rails that have aluminum inserts inside for extra rigidity. So we start with that, and then we put with this one with the spacers, we put our spacers in between, and then our next rail. And this one here is, so those posts are made to either go straight or perpendicular, but since there was this angle going here, there's a pivot piece, so this actually swivels. That was a separate piece that inserts into the post that allows us to make that angle. Yeah, just making sure that everything is in the groove like it needs to be before putting that spacers in. But yeah, all of this is pretty straightforward. We're strategically placing a few of these boards that have this aluminum insert there to give some extra strength. So we've got one toward the bottom, one in the middle, and then there'll be another one up here toward the top. And then also, just for strength wise, that bottom rail and that top rail tie into the tongue and groove of these boards, so it all that also gives it some rigidity and strength. We don't want to throw off our the spacing here because everything's tied in as you go. So we got these cut, so we're going to put these in first before we try to tile this in. Well, it all ties together, so if you don't go down the line, one little movement here can affect where you need to be here, so you just don't want to get ahead of yourself as you're working down the line. measuring like 5 times now before I cut one. Since I cut that one too short. All right, last piece. No, it's not gonna be that seamless, Joe. Gotta have a second set of hands. Cool. Thank you. So that's our step-by-step process on how to do a frame it all horizontal composite fence. I hope that was helpful. Make sure and like this video. It helps us out a ton, and subscribe to the channel for more fences just like this.